Well, I wonder, do you remember the first haircut you ever got? Well, I don't either, but I remember the first haircut I ever remember. I was in the first grade, and and when I was in the first grade, I was going to the Huey Elementary School in Wichita Falls, Texas, and it was up there on the north side of town at that time. And about 3.5 miles. I know it was 3.5 miles because I measured it later on in the car. And Daddy took me and my two sisters, to school in the morning, and we walked home in the afternoon after school. And I had left there and went up about a half a mile to the Iowa Park Highway, and then walked down the highway, and then shortcut it around through and got to the house. It's 3.5 miles altogether. Anyway, this morning I got up and I was in the first grade, and Mama gave me a quarter and said, "James, don't you go down to Barney's barbershop and get your hair cut this afternoon before you come home." Well, I had time because I was in the first grade, and my sister Louise and Marguerite, they were 8 years older than I was, and so I got out before they did, and I had time to fool around or play on the playground or something. But this afternoon, Mom said, "Go get a haircut." So, okay, she gave me a quarter, and Barney's barbershop was down on Broad Street, which was only about 5 or 6 blocks down east of the Huey School, and I could walk down there easy. Back in those days, kids could walk around freely, be all right. Anyway, went to school, and wasn't too long after lunch, the teacher called me up there and said, "Jimmy," she had named me Jimmy because there were three Jameses in the room, and she gave one Jimmy, one James, and one, I don't know what she called the other guy, but she named me Jimmy, and that stuck with me through all my years in Wichita Falls public school system. "Jim, come up here to my desk." I did, and she looked me over. She said, "I think you got the measles." "I don't know." She said, "Yeah, I think you better go on home." Well, school wasn't out, but here's my chance to get out early. So, okay, teacher said go home. So I picked up, but can't go home, got to wait on Marguerite and Louise. So I'll go down to Barney's and get a haircut. So I went down to Barney's. And now Barney he'd been cutting hair since, I think he cut Moses' hair, but he cut my daddy's hair, and so now he's cutting my hair, and he had that barbershop, and there was about 3 chairs, I think. Barney had the first chair. And I walked down there, and he was kind of glad to see me, and, "Well, James, what can I do for you today?" And I said, "Barney, I need a haircut." Mom said to me, "Get a haircut." He said, "Okay." And so I climbed up in the chair, and probably had me sitting on a board across the arms. That's what they did with little kids, and I was just a little kid, 7 years old in first grade. So he got to sit down there, and he's putting this stuffer on me, putting this apron around my neck and all that. And he said, "Well, James, you're kind of here early, aren't you? Aren't you supposed to be in school?" And I said, "No, sir." I said, "The teacher let me out of school early." He said, "Oh, really? What for?" And he said, "How come her do that?" I said, "She thinks I got the measles." Well, everybody in the barbershop there, they began to find reason to get up and leave. Even other barbers decided they had to go somewhere outside or restroom or something, and pretty soon they were all getting up to leave. And Barney, he'd already wrapped me up, so I guess he figured he's exposed if he's going to be exposed, and he decided to go ahead and cut my hair. And he started cutting my hair, and he said, "James, I see a spot up here in the crown of your head. What's that?" And I said, "Well, Mama wondered about that. She said it was either the mange or a ringworm. She didn't know for sure." But she's going to put some stuff on it, I think. She got some crude oil treatment that she uses, the daddy uses on the dogs. That was in those days. That was one of the quickest haircuts I ever got, and I remember. I think I remember that was the only time that I could have saved for sure that I emptied the barber shop. Well, hey, I was just a little kid.